Hey everybody, it's Minerva Crowhurst.
Cordelia Blackwood.
And this is Over the Cauldron podcast. Welcome back,
Yay.
everyone. Yay, so excited for today's episode, especially after the whole month that we've actually had. So it's
I swear it's the veil's thinning for the time.
and
Ooh, it's been a doozy.
I know. Yeah, and talking about the veil thing. Oh my goodness. So, because this episode, everybody, is our paranormal episode, and we are going to be talking about the crazy things in paranormal throughout history, and that are kind of weird. That happened in the month of April. Because just like October, it is a month where the veil thins, and it kind of ties into Beltane because Beltane is about that as well.
Hmm.
But literally the whole month of October or the whole month of April is just like October. Because and it's 6 months apart. So, this happens twice a year, which is crazy. So, and it kind of like speaking of Beltane again, kind of correlates when Persephone's comes back and when she leaves in the Greek mythology. So that's pretty interesting. I love
Very.
Greek. Yeah, I love Greek mythology. Um, so there's that. And then also the Celtics believe that as well. Like the weird things happen throughout the years in April. Like, and we don't have a full list. So I just want everybody to be super aware in the beginning here. This is a kind of a long list. And we did not even encapsulate everything that happened. We picked and chose some of the stuff to kind of talk about today. So just to give you an idea of how crazy the month of April is, um, when it comes to that, I'm gonna say one of the first ones that I found was the Sky Battle of 1561. This happened in Germany. The date of it was April 14th of 1561, and the actual location was Nuremberg. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. And this is a UFO
Miracle.
one. Do you like UFOs, Cordelia?
Oh, oh, come on.
I say I know I do.
You know what I love? You know what I love? Because like I was a little pop punk girl growing up, and one of my favorite bands, Blink 182, Tom DeLonge, actually wrote a song about UFOs and aliens existing. And when the government came out and said, they do exist, Tom was like, I told you, I fucking told you.
I
So
know
I love it.
that.
I love it.
Yeah,
I live for it.
yeah, no, and it's so funny because he's one of the few celebrities like Dan Aykroyd that really kind of spoke out about stuff like that. And I'll tell you what, man, I've believed in him since I was a tiny child, but that's probably for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hundreds of I know but I wholeheartedly believe in aliens. Sometimes I wish they would come save some of us, but that's all right.
Seriously, beam us up because I'm tired of this shit.
Like, which is so funny because in during this sky battle there was hundreds reportedly witnesses, like they see all of these objects flying in the sky, spheres, crosses, cylinder, and you got to think about that. This is 1561.
Oh,
They are like,
yeah.
what is this? Like, what is this? Everybody, this is before 1880, like the 1800s, which is a whole other thing because you got to think about that. Like that was like kind of like we don't think of it as super primitive, but that's like super old. And so for these people to
Mhm.
be seeing this had to have been wild. Probably like some kind of wild acid trip or something because they have no now. Well, supposedly nobody
I
has no knowledge.
bet.
I say, and it pretty much like they said, it just looked like an aerial battle. Like it just everything was just kind of like fighting each other. And I couldn't find too much like out of the descriptions other than it just resembled a UFO aerial battle. But it's just crazy to like think about because I guess even afterwards there was just a large black object that had just crashed outside the city. And after all of this battle, so and there's no more really on that I found. And being at 1561, there's no YouTube.
Well,
So no videos.
darn.
Yeah. Oh,
But then there is the RMS Titanic premonitions and hauntings.
Oh yes.
circling around, Titanic. And yeah, it did sink April 15th, 1912. It even sailed. Multiple people reported the premonitions of disaster, which is
That's so
insane.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then after the sinking, the survivors described the phantom music still playing, like they could hear it still, ghostly figures on the decks and dreams and visions. Oh, I would
That's
be hating life if I have the gifts I have right now, being like, just
yeah.
I could just feel the energy, just like I could just clawing at my skin, and you know what I mean? Just
Yeah. No, thank you. No,
yeah.
thank you.
But the books that predicted the 1886 by J.T. Steed or W.T. Steed and prominent spiritualist in negative investigated journals, how the mail streamer went down in mid Atlantic by a survivor, tells the
That's
story
oh,
of an unnamed ocean liner that sinks in the Atlantic. So in this
girl.
story, the protagonist is a sailor who grows concerned over the lifeboat shortage on deck, and sure enough, the liner collides with the small sailing ship of in the fog, and the horrible twist of their fates, basically. Um, Steve lost his life though in the disaster, and another in oh my goodness, I cannot. It's so in the
No, we
strange twist.
it's all
Well,
good.
that he died either by lynching or drowning.
I'd say that's a lot in there. So, but like, think about that. Like, that's even crazier. And this man predicted in a book that happened way before the Titanic ever came to life, pretty much the exact same thing that happened on the Titanic. Like,
Hmm.
that's,
Some stuff is kind of different, but not very much different.
yeah, I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
super exact, but it's like, holy crap, you know?
it's enough to
Just
make you think.
I wonder how that guy felt. He was him being like the spiritualist or whatever that he is. I wonder
Hmm.
how much like I don't know if he was alive or not when the Titanic crashed, but to think if he was like how validating that is about your father, even though it's terrible. Like
Yeah, I know.
that's like crazy.
But in the second novella, The Wreck of the Titan by Morgan Robinson boasted even more startling similarities of the sinking of the Titanic, and the story follows the fictional ocean liner Titan. Come on now, Titans.
No,
Which ultimately hits an iceberg on the North Atlantic, and life disaster. The history of the net breaks down to the number of the striking connections between real life and the fictional ships.
that's so crazy.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, hey, people get caught in that energy, and some stuff is just faded, but honestly, this
yeah,
is this is just too coincidental to even, you know what I mean?
almost Nostradamus type stuff. Almost.
But like the Titanic, the Titan was described as the largest ship afloat at the time, and in fact, the size and lengths of the ships were really close. So, as well as the speed of which they crashed into the iceberg, both liners have the dangerous shortage of lifeboats. And the story, the Titan was both dubbed unsinkable and proceeded to sink in the cold April night. Oh my gosh. Wow. But the
That's so
Titan's
yeah,
sinking
that's so
result
crazy.
in deaths of, yeah, but they both resulted in deaths of 2,500 people on board, saving 13. Over 1,500 people died on the Titanic, while 705 survivors made it.
Holy, that's almost the exact amount of number of people on both boats. Like That's so close.
That's pretty damn close.
That's super impressive. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's impressive to
But after
predict
the
such.
sinking of the Titanic, though, like the book was reissued, and Robinson was labeled a clairvoyant. So he said
Oh
that
well,
he
yeah.
simply was knowledgeable about the maritime operations, saying that I know what I'm writing about. That's all. Wow.
Oh, I just know.
Like, no, no, yeah, it's, I just know it.
It's
Next
it's
question,
crazy.
please. Like, I love that energy.
I'm just so confident. It doesn't matter. I just know everything. Which you know what? If you're claircognizant, you do. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because yeah. So, I'd say the other one, well, not the other one, but another one that happened in April is the Van Meteor visitor, and this happened in Iowa. Which Van Meteor, that's just so funny. This happened in April of 1903, and that's well, actually, it the escalated in 1903. So apparently, this happened before, but even more so like back then. And then it said to emit a blinding light and sulfur smell. Ugh. Thought it was
Ooh.
they thought it was a lantern, some of the witnesses. And a guy named Griffith watched it jump from building to building, calling out saying they needed to identify themselves. Like he thought it was a person just holding a lantern. Like that's
Hmm.
even kind of crazy to think about too. Like you're thinking it's a person and they're just hopping back and forth like some on the rooftops at night in like some kind of Je- Mr. Jekyll and Hyde running across rooftops at night. You know what I mean?
No, that's insane.
Yeah. And he's like, identify yourself, identify yourself. And then as soon as he realized that, he was like, he watched it turn into a ball of light and go overhead of him. And then he pretty much watched it shoot up and then poof, it was gone. Which that's even crazier to think. You first think it's some person, and then you're just
Hmm.
like this is crazy. A person's doing that, and as soon as you ask them to be like, "Hey, tell me who you are," they're just gone.
Boop.
And so yeah,
No access
basically,
denied.
nope. And then apparently it terrorized the coal town for an entire week. And it was basically like a battle between the townsfolk and the monster, which is just some like real crazy, even like crazy monster story stuff, which is, and I'm like, just like winged things. It's just, it basically, it had a really loud screech and it was frightening. There was a banker, a doctor, and a business owners like they all talked about their experience. So this was serious, serious. Like this wasn't like actually made up. This was like by just like drunk weirdo town people. This was like serious owners, like prominent people in the community were like, yeah, this was crazy. A
Wow.
yeah, I guess they ended up trapping it in a coal mine that it happened to fly into, which it's just really crazy. And I guess like cuz what is that even? Like it just flew into a mine and then they're just like, "You know what? We'll use another mine. Let's just board this bad boy up."
Yep. Seal her up. Let's put a boulder on it. Let's do it.
I know. And I guess now, because I was trying to look into some YouTube stuff, it goes now there are even more recent sightings. It's like large, black, and has like bat-like wings again. And I saw some YouTubes, and I don't know how accurate they were, but to me, it kind of looks like a pterodactyl, like a dinosaur. But again, does it turn in? How does it turn into a ball of light and flee away? You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Right. You said winged creature. I'm thinking like the creeper from Jeepers Creepers or something like that. But no, this is like a, it seems like a mythical creature. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, well, when I first started reading about it, I was like, "Oh, this is probably about the Mothman," because the
Yeah.
Mothman kind of predicts
Hmm.
that. I'm like, "Oh, something terrible is going to happen to this town." When I first started investigating, I was like, "This is the Mothman," but no, that was pretty much it. But I thought it was kind of crazy because again, it's so much older, and there was like actual, legitimate, prominent people in the in the county that did it. But I'll tell you what though too, because you can't trust all those people nowadays. But I guess back then you should have been able to. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's insane. But like what's even more insane is the exorcism of Roland Doe, and this actually was the inspiration for The Exorcist. So, the peak activity was reported in April of 1949. So they said that objects would move on their own, scratches appeared on the boy's body, and witnesses claimed that multiple voices spoke through him. So the it was also documented by a priest, and he recorded this.
That's I have heard about this
Mhm,
before, but that's just nuts. I guess I didn't realize it was actually recorded. That would be
mhm.
crazy to even think about. Like just, but I believe in demon possession, anyways. Um,
Yeah,
so
no, that's the and I love horror movies. I do. It doesn't matter what, but like the religious horror, like The Exorcist, yeah, that's the ones I'm like, no, I'm good.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good. Like Pazuzu and all that, like, no, I'm
I know people
great
playing with
on
the
that. Like,
Ouija
no,
boards.
that's my bugaboo in horror. Like, I don't do that shit. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, like let's play with an Ouija board. No, thank you. But
Yeah.
even and then speaking of that, even too, like the possession of Annalise Michael, or Mikel. I don't know how to say that, but her report, like her escalated reports, were also in the month of April. She did die in July of '76, but April marked the intensified sessions that she was having. So it was like, holy crap. And I guess she claimed to be possessed by multiple entities. And did that intensify? Like, is that why it intensified? Is because it was during the month of April? Like, this is like the thinning of the veil so things can come through more easily. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just, it's, it's just crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's something I hope nothing, it's crazy to even think about. Like, and it it's insane that people are like, oh well, that's not real. Like, how do you, what?
Yeah. No, that's real. I mean,
All things to not believe in, you think.
I know. I know. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man. But no, what's even crazy is the oh my god, I hope I'm gonna be pronouncing this right. The Hoa Baku Forest.
I could never. So you probably did it the best I could.
Yeah.
My,
So yeah, like this is the forest like where people come in but they come back out wrong.
that's crazy.
Yes. In April, that's when the forest begins to bloom, and then activity increases, and then um, people entering report the sudden burns appearing under their clothes, and intense dread with no visible cause, losing chunks of time, minutes, sometimes hours.
Sort of just trapped in like almost a Bermuda Triangle like thing in
Yeah,
the
no,
forest.
that
Except for they get to come back.
yeah, no, that's a new fear unlocked. But most unsettling accounts revolve returning visitors. So they would report that personality changes and recurring nightmares of being watched from the trees, and a persistent feeling of someone following them but never appearing again. And one account describes a man who would exited the forest and said, I don't think they wanted me in there. I think it wanted to see if I would notice it. Like, what?
Yeah. No, thank
What you
you.
mean?
No,
I
thank
think
you.
it wanted to see if I would notice it. Like, what? Sir.
Yeah. No. No, no, no. No, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But the time slip phenomenon, Yeah, while Famous Cases was in August, April had multiple lesser known time slips. I think you should take this one because I think you might have a story.
You know what? I have so many stories. Like
So,
this is
yes,
so
take this
crazy.
one because, like, yeah.
So first off, we'll just talk about like in the month of April, like kind of all over. Like it said, like Cordelia said, just time slips globally. They claim to step in the past briefly. They see figures in outdated clothing who vanish. This I know that I've heard of like there was a story and I think it was like out of Pennsylvania or Connecticut. I'm like trying to remember because of course this is not written down, but they they like went into this town and everything was like old timey. And then they tried to go back to the town and find that like old timey thing and could never find it again. And it was like, what? That's so crazy. And then I'll like this is like just so every like we're gonna talk about personal experiences with the time slips even right now. Like I'll bring up like when Cordelia and I were last physically together. It was like really weird because like Cordelia, remember I just started crying at your at the table when the song came on, and it's like weird
Yeah.
because you just like I time slip back to that or whatever, but then like to that time in my life, and it was just really crazy. But the most craziest one is my husband was out delivering to a school in I don't remember what the name of the city was, but it's from a town not far from where I currently live. And he said that when he drove into this town, and he says he always has a weird experience in this town. And again, this happened this month. Um, and so it basically, he drove in, he thought he saw like tears in the sky when he drove in. So he thought that was already kind of weird. And
Mhm.
then he goes to the school. He's like, it's a high school. And like when you drop stuff off at this high school, like the DoorDash or whatever, you have to put it on the table. And then they come get it. You don't have to do much else. He goes in there, goes as he's walking in, he sees like a really super old truck, like a super old truck. I think he said it was like a Bronco or something to that effect. I don't really exactly remember the truck, but he said like there was a lady in there who looked super weird, like she was all drugged out, but like this was like from the 80s. He said he was like it was definitely like from the 80s. That's what it kind of looked like, and it was like really weird. And so he goes into the school, drops the table, food on the table. Well, there's a kid sitting at the table, smiling at him all weird, mimicking his movements, and like acting really weird. And he said it like creeped him out real bad. Well, then he comes back out, and in that same Bronco or truck or whatever, no woman is in there, but now a weird bird is like flying all into the truck. Like a weird black bird is just like all over. And he said it was like out of a weird movie. And he just like, that was like a crazy thing for him, like the whole day, where he basically, he was off the whole day because of it. It threw him for a loop. He felt like it was like in some kind of like weird time slip or dimension. It was just like, what is this?
Oh my gosh.
And I almost feel like,
Oh, yeah, no, because there I go getting freaking goosebumps again
yeah,
because you telling me that story again.
it's just like the craziest thing. And it's like, and it was interesting because that happened before this we even decided what we were picking on in the episode, and then we were like, oh,
Mm.
holy crap, the time slips, of course, like and we didn't even, you know what I mean. And I was like, holy moly, holy moly.
Yeah, and we decided on this episode like what months before this even occurred. So the fact that it occurred before we recorded and before, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it's and it happened, and he doesn't know, like he doesn't know what we have our episodes planned on, you know what I mean. Like we don't, like I keep that secret. But no, just but so it's even weirder, he had the experience and then like was telling me about it, and I'm like, you didn't even have any
like
idea.
you just gave
Just
me
gave me some
you gave
material
me
for
my
my
material for the podcast. Thanks, babe.
thank you, honey bunny. Man,
Wow.
yeah. And I think
But
we
no,
even,
like
yeah,
not to mention the like I said in the beginning, just the veil just has this is the first time this year. So
yep,
just a lot of stuff has been happening and then all the with craziness, like the people, like it's getting warmer,
Mm-hmm.
and people start wilding out. Like I'm from like the more urban part of the area, and so, there's a lot of like car accidents and like violence. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't want to like get too into it, but then like that's another thing. So there was a man, I believe he went missing in 2022 or maybe 2023, and no one knew where he was. So they recently found the remains of him in a park, like a big park that's in this area. How did it take 3 years to find that man? You know what I mean? Like, yes, he had dementia and stuff like that, and like he was an older gentleman, but like you guys, yeah, how if you guys put a tooth comb through all that area, knowing like people go missing in that area a lot, how did you guys not find him until 3 years?
You know what? And that is crazy. Like, because if I'm thinking of the same park, if it's the same park I'm thinking of, that is a very active park. Now, mind you, it is
Yeah,
big, but it's a very
right.
active park. There's people all over it, and
Hmm.
not even just on the trails and stuff. If this is the one I'm thinking of, I don't want to say it
Hmm.
out loud,
And
but
you are.
yeah. So because I know people go in those woods. I was a teenager going in them woods smoking. So you know what I mean? For
Yeah,
somebody to
same.
3 years later, just just crazy. Just it's like really crazy. And then you know what? You know what? I didn't even think about this until just now after, just after the time slip thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of Mike Markham or Mark Markham. I think it's Mike Markham is his name. I just watched a YouTube on this literally yesterday. This and it happened I believe it happened like at the end of March, beginning of April, where this man like started messing around like with trying to time travel and like created these weird vortexes and ultimately made himself he didn't time travel, but he skewed the way of his like the way people perceive him or some stuff like that. And that happened at this time of the year too. And if you've never looked him up, you should because it was a huge story and it was covered by Art Bell. And I don't know if you know who Art Bell is, Cordelia, but that's a huge guy in the UFO, weird paranormal radio type stuff. He's been on air for a jillion years,
Dude,
and
yeah, didn't he die just
I think he
recently?
did. He did, which is sad. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was like in 1997 or 1996 or something like that, and it was like they found him. They said they never saw him again, and then I found a thing where apparently like recently in like 2021 they found like he disappeared in 97. No one saw him again. There was a weird time travel thing. Like there was like a somebody saw a news article. I think it was like the 30s where they found this like weird guy dressed in clothing and he had a calculator like and they thought maybe he time traveled and died there, right? Because it was something that you would have in the 90s. But no, he found they it was really crazy. I don't want to take up the whole episode with it, but if you have never looked up that, you should. It's crazy. He ended up meeting people and like telling them his story, and I don't want to tell the whole story because it's crazy, and I think you should look it up.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's super interesting to even yeah. But if you got the time, please look it up because honestly, it would send you down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. I've gone down so many rabbit holes. I know you have too with stuff, and I'm so excited for so
Oh yeah, obviously, like we're gonna be doing more paranormal episodes and stuff like that. It started with, the Lake Lanier episode, and I
mm-hmm.
felt like it was pretty good.
I did too. We did a pretty nice job, I think, on that. Say it's so good. So good. Um
Yeah.
I think there was one more that we had to list in the episode. And then I didn't know if you wanted to talk about our other personal experiences that we've had this month that I think are tied to our theme. But the Walpurgis night preparations, they begin in April, kind of like leading up to April 30th, it's basically historically believed to be when like witches gathered and spirits roamed freely and the veil thinned. That's so
Hmm.
it's kind of interesting because again that kind of leads up to Beltane, but like that's just like another old-timey thing that they did like a little celebration, I guess. That's pretty witchy for April.
Well, yeah, that, and as you said, Beltane, and like we kind of touched on that a little bit on the 420 episode.
Yeah.
So, like, just for like a spell to do on the night of and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Which, if you haven't listened to the 420 episode, you should. It's a fun time. Where,
yay!
yeah, where we talk about that. But also, I mean, I'm bringing this up because it literally just happened before Cordelia and I recorded this episode, and I find it
Oh,
extremely interesting. I don't like it's just so funny. So because again, we're like at the end of the month of April, and we're preparing to record. We weren't recording yet, but we were getting prepared, and all of a
right.
sudden,
And we're doing this remotely,
yeah,
mind you.
we're not together today. Gas prices, but, um,
Yeah.
but so we're trying to get it together, and all of a sudden, through my headset, I could hear a man's voice, and it sounded like it was coming from Cordelia's home. Um, but it showed that we were both speaking at the same time, so I don't know because we kind of were. But I heard that coming, and I thought it was through, which is crazy to think about because there's nobody else there with Cordelia, and
No,
there's
there isn't.
no one
I'm the
here
only
with
one
me.
here. No kids, no man here, like all alone.
Yeah,
So I'm like, girl, why are you telling me this? We're
I know.
about to record this episode and you got me freaked out now. So thank you.
You're
Like,
welcome.
now I'm thinking,
I was able, honestly, I had my dog, the dog and the cat are here. Um, and because my stepdaughter and my husband are out, they're out running some errands and stuff, and I'm like, there's nobody else here either. And, I don't hear my neighbors when they talk. So I was like, it's just kind of crazy. Again, spirits all around us.
yeah, spirits.
So I
But
didn't,
yeah, no, like I'm pretty sure if there was something here, like we're good. Like I've lived here since 2020, so that's what, 5 years
yeah, five,
almost,
six almost.
six almost. Yeah, so yeah, no, if anything were to happen, it would already happen. So I
Yeah,
think I'll be okay. So
yeah. I think so too. And I
yeah,
was thinking about it too. Like you've had some dreams this month too, but you always have dreams. But I feel like you've had some more
yeah.
this month.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was kind of like on a rampage. But doing that lucid dreaming spell didn't help anything. But because the veil was thin, I was able to talk with one of my ancestors in one of those dreams, and I'm super excited that happened. So,
Yeah, so that's so cool. Like I love
yeah,
that.
yeah. And so like I've actually, because of this, I'm thinking about doing an ancestry and seeing if I can like find any pictures, because the way my dream was, it
Yeah,
because I remember walking on a dirt road, but it felt like a main road, like Michigan Avenue or something. And
crazy.
like I wouldn't say Michigan Avenue, but like like just like one of those bigger roads.
Yeah,
So but it was hot, like that southern heat. You know what I mean? And I'm like at a stop for a bus. It felt like the turn of the century, like in the 1900s of the 20th century. But
yeah. That's so
so
crazy.
yeah, and I was just sitting there talking to this lady. She looked to be like maybe my mom's age. And just, I said I was gonna leave, but she let me know that she will always be with me. And
That's
that
so
was it. I woke up, like I turned my head to look back at her, and like I woke up.
that's so cool. You need to. I hope. I hope you're able to find a picture of her because you,
Me too, because like I can remember traits of her, but I need a picture, and that's the reason why I want to get, the ancestry, because there's a possibility they could have a picture,
yeah,
so.
you know what? I will agree with that because I had Ancestry. I think I still do, but I haven't logged into it in like 8 jillion years. But that was how I found the picture of my one grandma that I am like the spitting image of. So
Oh no.
yeah, so I would suggest that. Yeah, because I thought it was really crazy. I showed my mom. I was like, "Who is this lady?" And she goes, "Oh, that's your grandma Mick's grandma." And I was like, "What?" So
Wow.
yeah, and I look just I was like, what is this? Is this me reincarnated? Um but yeah, no, but I highly suggest you do that because I'm so curious for you to find out because I'm so
Oh,
nosy.
trust me. Like, if you guys want like a follow-up to this,
Yep.
like, let us know over the cauldron podcast at gmail.com,
Or
or get at us on Facebook. We're always like, answering stuff and posting. So if you guys
same.
want to follow up, like, oh, did you do that ancestry yet? Like, I'll let y'all know. So
Yeah. Maybe we'll make a fun episode of that. That'd be so cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Say, well, I think that's all we have for today, which this has been super fun. I love doing these types of episodes, so I'm
Oh, me
excited
too.
to
Me
do more
too.
going forward.
Well, until next time, everybody, I'm Cordelia,
And I'm Minerva, and this is Over the
and
Cauldron podcast.
we almost did it
I
again.
know.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.